goes down the Riptide. Chime and Wild Turtles both get locked. Jensen goes golden, and the root onto Tomo means he has to just take the damage as it's ditched out. 4 taken down by Dignitas. In the end, it's TSM out on top.
Yeah, they're looking.
Rell has flash.
Yeah, yeah.
Rakan TV summer.
Just Rell. He's just trolling. He's trolling.
Rakan here. Kill Rell first.
I feel.
Kai'Sa is here. Kai'Sa is here.
Yeah.
Kai'Sa is here too.
Kai'Sa's inting.
Golden Guardian saying, go, Shelly, go!
Protect Shelly!
No, Shelly's down! But EG is going down as well with their Nexus. GG with the win. Horn thrown by Dhokla. Gets a knock up onto 3. Impact with the knowledge pop into the back line. Palafox is attempting to make a play as well. Gets a shutdown onto Prince. Most of the damage eliminated for FlyQuest.
Piyoshik is saved by the Mikhail's Crucible, and now Fudge is ready to engage from the side. There's the flank we were talking about. That's what we were looking for, but APA has already shut him down. Liam's respite goes out. Piyoshik is very low. APA hiding all the way back in the corner. Nicely timed with the Mega Inferno bomb, and Piyoshik kills Glamour. Summit's coming in from behind. C9 are caught, and they're absolutely exploded. I think TL just won the game.
Wow.
Keep your eyes on Balulu and Treats. Those are the guys to go in. Magnet Storm to start it off. Sunday's already dead. Quinn tries to go for an outplay with a Shurima shuffle, but it won't work. Tactical has killed Closer. Double lift, trying to do anything, fighting back against these guys. Sunday tries to find an entry into the fight, but he's immediately killed. Nobody else is around. There's no backup. There's no way out for 100 Thieves. Closer gets killed off. Double kill for Tactical. Everybody wearing 100 Thieves colors hits the ground. And Immortals with a quadra kill for Tactical will finally end their loss streak and claim their 3rd win of Summer 2023.
Welcome everybody to day 2, week 5. It's Olympiad Day, just so you know.
Let's go!
It was pretty obvious as Olympiad Day based off our brilliant outfits.
Our amazing outfits.
When I think of the Olympics, I think of a couch like this.
Yep.
I love your socks, by the way. I always wanted to point them out, how they tied with the red, and it's just tacos. It's tacos on the socks.
This is a baseball thing.
So throughout the day, we're going to be running Olympiad, a triathlon. You're going to be seeing, we're going to throw everything up just so you guys know. Once we get towards it, some of the teams in the LCS ended up doing some competitions. Don't want to spoil too much about it, so you guys are going to be checking that out. Yesterday, though, had some games. All of us as analysts went 2-5 because there were a lot of upsets. The fans
2-5. There were 7 games.
2 and 3.
2 for 5. 2 for 5. I hate you. But the fans went 0 for 5. So you know what? I still think we have a job for
Our fans are idiots. Ha! Yeah. This is a really tight race. I love how the LCS is right now. We have this 3-way tie at the top. Team Liquid just 1 game back, but a good enough early game to kind of take anyone down. They actually have a 2-0 this split tiebreaker over Cloud9. TSM just 1 game behind them. It's a really cool playoff hunt for the buys.
Yeah, Team Liquid can crazily still get first.
Yeah.
If they're able to keep up their trajectory, or just fall out of the top 6. Both of them are completely playing. I wouldn't be surprised.
Very Team Liquid of either one.
Yeah.
Or stay in 4th.
They're just 1 game behind. There are 5 games left. There's just a lot of games to talk about that can change the narrative a lot with a lot of the top 4 teams, or just teams like TSM, who's on a surge right now. It's nice to see. Any other teams that caught your eye? NRG's mine.
FlyQuest.
FlyQuest?
Yeah.
You go with NRG.
Okay, I'll go with NRG immediately and just say that the fact that they're taking wins the way that they're doing right now, I know a lot of people were kind of, like, I lost a lot of my predictions because I had faith at the beginning of the split, and I was asking myself whether I should get off the boat, and thankfully I didn't when they started beating top teams again. So I'm still on the NRG hype train. How about you? You said FlyQuest.
Yeah, I'm still on the FlyQuest boat. I think it's a brilliant plan to put Spyrox in for a game and then put Dhokla back. They said it was pre-planned. I believe them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jat is the ultimate Kool-Aid sipper.
Wow.
He is downing it by the gallon.
Literally
Yes, FlyQuest, anything you say.
You were literally dressed up as an emptied Kool-Aid man. I'm just
Yeah, actually, kind of. He has the red.
It's all going to plan.
All right, well.
I did want to point out IMT broke their loss streak finally yesterday. And also make things a little bit even more dicey down at the bottom of the standings with them and FlyQuest and 100 Thieves.
Let's pull up the playoff chances while we're on the conversation, because yes, it's worth talking about how FlyQuest is having even worse troubles now at 13.45%.
Wow.
I love the Team Liquid .00 or a 0.01% chance. They'll find a way. They'll find a way to miss it.
Isn't it amazing that 100 Thieves still has a 91% of scenarios to make it into top?
Yeah. We
I'm not
talked.
gonna say probability because Mark doesn't like that word.
Probability. I'm getting angry.
He's foaming at the mouth over here. We talked about how, like, top 8 is almost entirely decided. The gap only widened, right? Like, Immortals moved up.
Yeah.
But between, like, 91%, essentially, and 22%. Like, that's a massive gap.
The NRG win over FlyQuest is basically what I feel like caused all that.
Yeah.
So even though Immortals took down 100 Thieves and gave themselves a lot better individually of a chance, overall, FlyQuest is basically dead in the water at this point.
Something also worth talking about is TSM. I know beginning of the split, I think I placed them last. It was like a lot of people was between TSM and Immortals. They're at a 99.85 chance of making it into playoffs. It feels like that's already a done deal. This team is
Dark Horse MVP?
They're doing it.
When
I don't want to hear it.
Why not?
Preseason, most of us had TSM 10th, right?
I had them 8th.
I think I had them like 9th or 8th. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I thought that was the optimistic angle. It was 8th.
No, same. I had them 8th, so I can't really talk, but I didn't have them 10th.
Yeah, we did a lot of sprinting in our early split kind of predictions. So that's tough. Speaking of sprinting, we just talked about how it's Olympiad days.
Let's get into it.
So let's start with the first kind of competition. We're going to be going through a lot of the plays that's happened throughout the split based off of certain categories. We're going to be introducing the categories bit by bit and rating them. We are the judges. So first things first is best sprint of the split.
Okay.
So make of it what you will. Let's see what the first sprint candidate is.
Whoa!
Rate it off. Oh my God.
So who is the sprinter?
TSM versus NRG. So
Contractz is. Oh no.
So this is focused around.
Oh, this is the Contractz death reel.
What?
Oh, no.
I think he died
Saying
9.
he's sprinting it.
He is sprinting it. He is gonna pick up 9 deaths this game, I remember.
Oh my God.
Your memory is amazing.
This is so rude.
Yeah, wow.
What do you mean it's rude? He's the best sprinter. Contractz is a great jungler, but sometimes he sprints.
I like the sprinting on both sides. So we're seeing the negative aspect, but also when he has a lead, he will completely.
He does sprint it, yeah.
He will carry his team in the most amazing way possible. So you already have a 9.
I mean, for 9 deaths, he's a
Wow.
sprinter.
Oh, that's true. 9
Oh,
for
actually,
9.
that's a good one.
I like it. 9 for 9 for Contractz.
I'll do 6 just for continuity on the desk.
I like how they have the
How
red
do we
for
tell
those.
yeah, how do we tell the difference?
So if you want to.
Yeah.
We should have like the line.
Sir?
My bad. Okay, let's go on to the next one, please.
That was it? That was the
That was
only
it?
sprint?
No, he
That was the
won the award. He
Oh,
won
he
the
already
gold
won.
medalist
Okay,
for
he's the
best
gold
sprint.
medal sprinter.
Yeah,
Who
so
paid attention in story meeting? None of y'all.
Nope.
We weren't even actually supposed to use the ones for these.
Look, I'm
9.
fine with it.
It's fine.
I think that was the highest one we ended up having anywhere, so congratulations for Contractz on that one.
Best sprinter of the split.
On to the next one. It's diving. So we've been asked to rate the best dives this split. So why not we just start with the first one? So let's see what the first play is. We have to rate the dive.
Okay, Golden Guardians versus FlyQuest.
Oh, I remember. This is great.
This is a,
Oh, 6A flashes out last second.
Yeah, but they actually get.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
They managed to juggle the aggro, they get out, and then Puhi gets this kill on the backside of
Oh
it.
God, that is. I don't think. Do we have a 10 on here?
You can make a 10.
You can.
You want to make a 10?
Yeah,
with
yeah.
me?
You want to put? Do you want to be the 1 or the?
Yeah.
I'll be the 0. Wait, I need to be the 1, don't I? God,
I
we're
think so. We are so dumb.
You guys are off left.
I'm a 1-0.
It's a very simple mechanism.
10.
We got it. We figured it out.
There it is. Well done.
They got a double kill 3v2 dive at level 3 on a crashing wave.
The double
Yeah.
kill wasn't, but you know what? Now, just so you said that, I'm going to a 5.
What? Raz,
I'm
what
going
is
to
your
a 5.
scoring?
Look. You said a double kill. It was Vulcan that left the turret and walked up to them. That would have been 1
Yeah,
kill
I'm
on the
with him.
turret. Look, your explanation.
Have you
doomed
seen
that
most
play.
dives in the LCS?
Yeah.
Yes.
That is not a 5.
I bet we're gonna have some worse ones.
It's like an 8 or a 9.
I had it as a 9.
What could they have done better, Jat?
Killed both of them right away.
You can't do that 3v2 at that level.
I don't. Maybe you could if you.
I don't think you can.
You're asking them to do an impossible dive. They would head plant on the pavement.
Head plant.
Head smack on the pavement.
Maybe I need to see it again.
You literally cannot get a double kill under turret.
Guys, we have a blind judge. I think that's a concern.
You gave it a 5. You gave it a 5.
That was your fault.
You went
So
from
he's
an
corrupt.
8.
I might
You
just
went
be a
from a
hard
9
grade.
to a
You're in a
5.
hard grade. You
I
always
was
want
so
more. You never
offended.
give a 10.
Guys, this is disgusting. I was offended by your take. I gave him a 9 and I changed it to a 5. Let's go on to the second dive. I
feel
want to see what
insulted.
the second dive has for us because we already started off pretty high.
I can't wait to see Raz's review
Oh
of these ones.
no! Oh no!
Yep.
This is from yesterday, right?
Yep. No, you're right. This is a better dive, Raz. This looks
This
really
is so
clean.
good, Raz.
This is really clean.
Look at that.
Yep, I like that one.
Exceptional.
How about this one,
Oh,
Raz?
these are back to back.
Same game.
The Team Liquid C9 game. Surely this will go better. Clueless. Surely.
So, question is, whose
Oh.
dive are we?
We are just rating both contestants' dives.
Both of them
Cumulative
together. I think I'm gonna go with a
dive.
4.
Where's the 0? I guess 1 point for participation. You did try to dive.
I feel like I'm the highest. Yeah.
Raz is just griefing.
No, we had 2 plays. So
Hey, what?
2 plays, both of them get a 4. If we're doing it,
Okay, so
Okay.
getting a double kill on a dive is worth 5, but getting killed under turret is
Raz,
worth
you
4.
I gave it a
Truly?
9. You gave. I changed
How
it.
can you
Look,
possibly? Dude, I don't mind controlling.
I watch figure skating regularly, and you're just tilting
Soviet
me
judge.
as much as figure
I'm the
skating
Soviet
scores
judge?
do.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I feel like you consistently don't know the rules of the games.
We used both plays. We did both dives. I gave
Report
both
cards
dives
are
a
like,
4.
lowest is a C-, and they're like, why did you give him a D?
I want to know what the rubric is inside your head.
My
It just
judges
makes me
are
didn't tell
going
us,
through a
he didn't tell
mutiny.
us.
Let's change the topic and go
Yeah,
for the third
next time,
dive.
next
Let's
time.
go. Let's see what the third dive has to offer for us.
Okay, is this a good one or a bad one?
Oh, this is.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah,
Can someone make a 10 with me? I want
yeah,
a 10.
I agree.
Let's go.
What?
Actually,
See?
can we make a 1,000? Does that
What?
happen?
A 1,000? Wait, you wouldn't
no,
give
no.
the first one.
Okay, I'm giving you 0. You got the 1?
Okay, I got the 1. I got the 1.
Okay.
I got the 1.
We got to make sure it's not a 1, but it.
That is still a 1.
How do the camera lenses work?
That's a
That's
1.
a 0
What?
1.
That is
You gave them a 1.
There it is.
There you
Okay,
go.
We got it. We
Good
got
thing
it.
you guys got it fixed before you came back on
So
camera.
remember when we said, like, get the clean 2 kills without.
They had 4
opponent
people.
They had 5. Wasn't that 5 people?
It was 4.
It was 4 or 5.
4. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like also they were level 11 and stuff. Like you have ults.
Yeah.
It's way easier to
Yeah.
dive post 6 with ults.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I don't know what's going on over there.
Congratulating.
I give it a 7 for execution, but it was not a complicated. It was not a hard
Yeah,
dive.
so for you, you're saying, like, they perfected it, but
Do
they
you know
like, did
how
a very
diving
simplistic
scoring
job.
actually works?
Yeah. So you're saying the peak,
lower
the
level
highest
makes it
possible
more
for that
difficult.
dive could be a 7.
Yeah, because and that's what diving. That's what scoring is. Judging in these things, you judge the difficulty of the program as well as the execution.
I've decided to judge it off of gold.
Everyone has their own justification,
we
guys.
all can do whatever we want,
God.
man. It's subjective,
let's
man.
hope
No
that
one's
we're-
feelings get
There's
hurt
a
here,
technical.
man.
There's a technical score and then a execution score.
Hopefully, our judges can get their stuff together as we go into the next round of competition. This one is fencing. So the best duels in the LCS, it can come down to 1v1s. Let's see if it ends up to a kill. Our first competitor will be Someday.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Enemy jungler in the area too, with a Yuumi on top.
Oh.
This is a 3v1.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
God.
Oh my god.
I don't
Whoa.
remember this.
This is week 1. Nuke Duck's in. Oh my! I remember this game. This was the first game of the split that made everyone think 100 Thieves was gonna like run the league.
True,
Yeah.
true.
And Someday absolutely popped
Yeah,
up.
that's actually
Someday.
sick.
That was insane.
That's
We're
That's-
grading these two?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
judges in
That was
fencing.
nice.
Are there? Is there?
That was nice.
I don't think so. I think it's like point.
Just point based.
Yeah,
Whatever.
point scoring.
Nine,
Good job.
9.
Good job.
Yeah.
Limit
Start-
break. Where's the limit?
Look, I'm just
Nah,
saying.
16.
We unfortunately have set the rest of the competitors up for failure. So
We
We
have.
started
We'll
with
see.
the best, but we'll
Yeah.
maybe not.
Yeah,
We
so
may have
sad.
started
Like in the
with
dunk
that.
contest when they give a 50 to like a first round dunk.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, it's
the
trouble.
next one's Rich, guys.
All
Let's
right,
put this
Rich.
one
Oh,
out.
that
Oh, this
remember
is so
this one.
funny.
This was the best one.
This is actually pretty good. The
Yeah.
fact that Summit teleports back in after getting killed and
Yep.
just gets obliterated from a quarter HP. I will say,
9. I feel like
You're
the
gonna
first one
deduct
was a little
because
bit
he's in
better.
Cassante mode.
no,
Yeah.
Like Renekton is hard.
it was just 1v1. You know, the other one had like 3 people on it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
This-
deducting based off Cassante.
Like Renekton is hard.
You just don't
Against
like Rich.
3 people, basically.
Cassante is harder than Renekton.
Rich hater, lowest score.
Yeah.
What do you know?
I'm
It's,
not-
it's a
I'm
replay
not
of Rich who's got
surprised.
the lowest score.
Renekton is
past
actually
this.
easier when more people are around you because you get to heal more.
He was going against multiple people while he had K'Sante mode on the...
That one was just more comedic to me.
Yeah.
The Sunday one was
funny.
impressive. This one was hilarious.
That one was funny. I will give you that one. The next one, our next competitor, is Gory. I'm interested in this one. I actually don't know, because we went way back to week 1, so...
No, this is... Oh my God, is that it? He's evaporated. Is that the kill?
That can't just count.
That was a...
That's it?
Have you ever seen like those matches where like there's all this preamble for like, you know, wrestling match or a boxing
Yeah.
match, and you just like wham, knock him out in the
Right.
first round,
Any
first
Mike
punch
Tyson
thrown.
fight ever.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's over? Like, that's how that one felt. It's,
Any Goldberg...
I like Gory a lot, but I think that was at a point in the game where he's just gonna blow anyone up.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah. I mean, not that it wasn't impressive, but
He
it was
had a
just-
lot of solo kills in that game, I hear. And that was the most impressive.
I heard
That was
way-
the most impressive one.
The way that we pulled these, I heard, was that we found solo kills by
Yeah.
who had the most in that game, then
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
watched a couple from their
yeah.
game.
And chose the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just how fast he died was impressive, but it just felt like a round one.
Yeah. It was just
10
like
seconds in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead.
That wasn't the most impressive for all the reasons you gave, but so I had him as a 3.
Yesterday, he was at 11 out of 10.
He was an 11 out of 10 on that one. Our last competitor is going to be Impact. I'm interested on when this actually was happening.
Impact you?
Impact, though.
Impacto!
Oh, I remember
this one.
that!
This was
Yeah.
sick.
This was funny as hell.
Stick say no.
Oh, yeah.
Double kill.
Yeah, it's like it with the dying breath, the most inconsequential 1v2 double kill.
I respect it, though.
Yeah, I will. I mean,
The Croc is just the best duelist, guys.
Yeah, apparently.
What can we say? The Croc, there's a
I
reason
shouldn't
why the
have
Croc's
started with a
being
9, man. I can't give a Renekton play more than an 8.
played. What?
Yeah, I'm going to go back and
I'm
change
going
my
back
vote
to
for the
9.
first
It
one.
felt just same as the Someday one to me, more or less.
Yeah, I don't think Someday deserved a 9 at the start.
That's crazy.
I
You
would say
cannot
nine,
renege on your
Sunday
vote.
I just did.
I don't like it. I don't appreciate it.
No Fiora solo kills? Who played
Yeah.
Fiora this split? Just the Summit
Summit?
game?
Someday,
Those guys solo
oh yeah,
kills.
Summit,
go
you're
well.
right. Summit did. Yeah,
They lost that game.
kind of sad. Kind of sad, honestly. Now, shot put. Oh, I love this a lot. Anybody that loves shot put, we have the biggest throws of the split. Now, I already have my answer, but I'm interested in what we have here if we're rating this.
I think everyone
I
knows.
feel like there's an obvious gold medal.
Yeah,
And it is
this
this
is
one.
it.
Oh, it's
Yep.
Yep.
This was in week 1 and has not been close to being contested
It
since it
started
happened.
before this. This was like the second or third toss of the set.
Well, the craziest thing was the like Baron steal that NRG had from IMT because Kenby didn't have smite.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
they were pushed into their base, and they still somehow came back off the back of Tactical.
God.
Crazy Aphelios.
This
Yeah.
is wild to talk about, and it's just been really NRG's split as a whole. Maybe 2 to 3 games in which they had a pretty monstrous goal lead, and then not being able to end it. And it was actually just, it was nice to have Dhokla on cast yesterday, going through literally what Team Liquid was going through when they were facing
Yep.
Cloud9. Because like, guys, please, you can't keep doing this. So that one was tragic. Do you want to give a point-based system?
I mean,
for
that
one?
is the gold. I feel
That's
like
a
we
10.
have not had a larger
Yeah, we don't need to
throw
do
These are the
than that.
medal ceremony.
The shot
Yeah.
put.
That has to be the
The
gold medal.
Immortals hype after they caught the throw was really high.
It was
They were
high.
2-1 at the end of the first week.
Yeah.
2-0 after that game.
And then they lost, what was it, 11
10.
straight? 10
10.
straight?
3 and 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, just 10.
It's crazy they have the same record as FlyQuest after going.
They might be on another
game.
streak now. You never know.
True.
Maybe this is
True,
Immortals'
they'll
time.
win another game.
They'll win
Maybe.
Maybe they're a streaky team. That team had immaculate vibes that game. That game was just fun to basically have that listen through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that
to
was a
their
nice one.
comms.
Yes. So the next one's going to be another throw. Team Liquid versus NRG.
That was a shot
So
put.
this is the silver medal.
This is the shot put. Oh, this is the Fiora game that we were talking
no.
about.
Oh no.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, this is also Harry's.
Yeah, that was
no.
not the first
Yeah.
time he died.
No,
Yeah.
no. These.
This also was another one. I know they're trying to show like the end
Yeah.
game of like the team winning, but like in a lot of these, and Raz, I'm glad you brought up the C9 game from yesterday because that was super dicey for
Yeah.
TL as well. In a lot of these, this starts way before with like
Oh.
someone getting picked off in the side lane, like losing a single objective, having a bad reset. Like a lot of these started way earlier and was kind of a slow like up. We lost some gold here. The other team is slowly like out fighting us in team fights, and we're getting caught inside.
You know
lanes
what's
and
so
stuff.
interesting to me about that?
What's that?
If they win that game, I mean, then maybe the APA thing doesn't happen. But if they win that game, they'd be tied for first.
Yeah.
If you just switch that result.
Right, then who knows if they win the APA?
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe they don't beat
But
Cloud9.
it does speak to the problems that the Team Liquid has always had, going back all the way to spring, closing games out. Like you said, they find new ways to do it every single time. This time it was like over-grouping with a split pusher.
Yeah.
And then they start losing fights as they mis-execute in team fights. And then the game versus C9 from yesterday was actually too much splitting.
Yep.
Where they're like getting engaged on side lanes, someone's getting picked off, and then like there's 4 men pushing while 1 person's split away. You don't have your whole team there. Like, they just find new ways. They are very creative in their shot put attempts. And like you said, they're multi-step shot put attempts.
Yeah.
Like you do multiple things to get to that point.
They also, it was really funny talking to Pioshek yesterday because he was like, yeah, like, so we were all pretty chill and like we thought we could out team fight them, but then Summit is kind of like, guys, I'm dying a lot, like I'm getting outscaled. I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah, that game was scary because it was kind of on C9 throwing at the end. I don't know why they chased all the way out of top to go up there after Eminence just used his TP bot and then just get TP flanked on. That felt like a C9 counter throw, actually. You know what? That should be C9's
bronze medal.
The bronze medal is C9 chasing them all the way up after you can teleport to the other side of the map.
Yes. I wish we got a look at that one. That's fine. Maybe it's probably for the best. Yeah, we already saw it yesterday. That's fine. I wonder what we'll see for the rest of the day, though. Let's just take a look at today's schedule and see what games we have. Anything that comes out to you? NRG versus Dignitas to start.
Yes.
LG versus FlyQuest. Anything that comes out to you immediately?
Golden Guardians doesn't have 10 wins.
Oh, there it is.
They have 9 wins.
But they're never going to have a better chance than today.
Why are you doing this?
And Nero is already steaming if he's watching this.
They've never had a greater than 500 record in a split in the history of their org, and it could happen today.
It could. I think the other thing for me is TL versus TSM.
Yep.
Obviously, the first game and the third game are actual positional battles. Like, whoever wins this is starting to get above their direct opponent in the standings.
Yes.
Also, what, TL, TSM, and then NRG, Dig, are the 2 that I'm looking at. In terms of NRG are so frustrating because they have these games where they look really, really good. Like everything's clicking. They have really good attention to side waves, the way they're setting things up.
Yeah.
And then in other games, they do not. And Dignitas has been kind of equally shaky, so I have no idea who's going to win.
Yeah, I'm interested in these games. I think 100 Thieves versus Cloud9 because 100 Thieves coming off of a loss to Immortals Progressive. Now I'm getting breaking news from Evil Genius's camp. Just taking a look at this.
Oh,
Let's see, Jojo Pin will be starting mid laner. This discussion was pre-planned regardless of the Kai'Sa performance just yesterday. Okay, that's completely understood. It's nice for Evil Genius to give an update to the fans out there.
We're incredibly proud of JoJo for showing up to practice this week and
so
showcasing his performance against Golden
I
Guardians.
assume we can't get what this is referencing in time, but if people missed it, FlyQuest put out a tweet for the Spirax situation yesterday. This is obviously not game 1 that we're talking about here. They put Spirax in. They put a video out explaining why they were putting him in, and there was this stuff about like he's been playing well in Academy. We put him in for scrims. We felt like we needed a change. This was the time to do it to like go hopefully into a honeymoon phase. Things weren't working. Blah blah blah. They didn't say how long he was subbing in for. To be fair.
Yeah,
but that sounds
and
like
they did say in the announcement, I rewatched it, they're like, we're putting him in for the NRG game as our starting mid laner. They never said for the week. They were a little careful.
They were a little careful, but when you put that much effort into an announcement for a 1-game sub-in, I think it created a lot of fan expectation that it was going to be
I expect them to play the whole
Everyone expected it. Everyone did. Yeah. So then they put out a graphic that looked just like that one that said basically exactly that, but it was about Dhokla coming back in for Spirax, which then caused a lot of people to be like, that wasn't pre-planned, like you're panicking, or like there's behind-the-scenes drama. People are coming up with all these other solutions. So
there was probably behind-the-scenes drama.
I would bet.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Here comes the specule.
It was planned.
There it is.
Let's go FlyQuest.
And as you can see,
glug.
Here's FlyQuest's copycat tweet of Evil Geniuses.
Just so you guys know.
No, this is the original.
No, this is the copycat.
This is what everything is referencing.
Misinformation on the broadcast.
So the roster change was originally leaked by Eevee. He beat them to the punch.
Yeah.
And then they put this out that they would, it was just planned to have Spirax play for 1 game.
And it's just confusing, given that like, if you're in the playoff hunt, yesterday we targeted as the fact it was like a make or break game.
That was the game they had to win.
Right. So like, why make a short-sighted in the sense that's 1 game? If you knew it was 1 game the entire time, why do it for that game? If I don't know, it just doesn't like add up. It feels like for a lot of people.
It's really confusing. Yeah, and I think it sets up most of their players for like failure on that one. Specifically Dhokla, because now the whole conversation publicly is surrounding it. So I feel for him. Hopefully, comes back better. That's what I'm hoping for. Speaking of which, I wonder if you guys think he'll come back better.
Well, we already know Jet is betting on FlyQuest.
We'll just say,
who's the perpetrators here?
We'll just say, Mark is with me.
Always.
When
Always and
they're
forever.
lifting the cup, the LCS trophy, in 6 weeks' time.
Mark.
What?
You're going to look back at this moment and think this was the right time to put Fickle back in.
Mark, what the hell is happening in the 100 Thieves and Golden Guardian series?
Okay, so obviously, Gold Guardians are cursed. You just heard Jat talking about it. There's something wrong with this organization. They cannot get more than 10 wins, so it is impossible. It's like a fact. They cannot win today. 100 Thieves are bouncing back when you least expect it. Cloud9's struggling. They just lost to Team Liquid yesterday.
Yeah, that's struggling.
Yeah.
Well, for what it's worth, the
throw?
fans were 0-5 yesterday, so Mark being opposite the fans might be...
What do the fans know?
And your predictions have been really bad, so I know you're trying to make it back.
One thing I think is super interesting is that the fan vote is 56% for Dig, but then we all picked NRG, despite this is another game that I think is like super close. And we all just randomly sided with NRG. And also, I think TSM is closer.
I'm going to say
that
the TSM haters show up yet again. I cannot win with you people. You know, I'm talking about, hey guys, what about MVP Insanity? He's like, what is he?
What?
10 and...
He's 7-3.
Yeah.
7-3 That's insane.
It is good.
That's
kind
of crazy.
Yeah, and you guys won't give him any credit.
All I've done is talk about how good Insanity is.
Okay, guys. Okay,
Why did you predict him today?
Look, at the end, we will see what happens with the games. Here we have an on-field reporter. He's a cowboy. I think it's Cowboy Mazel is on the range. All right, let's take it away, Mazel.
Howdy, partners. It's your friendly LPL, NACL, LCS Cowboy Mazel here to bring y'all a little story about some of our latest and greatest. Welcome to another episode of On the Range. Now, our first critter here is no stranger to this stage, but what you might not know is this young buck began in the NACL with the fastest hands in the West. He'd hog-tie you faster than you could say help. Bam! While the first part of his trail was a bit of a roughing for our boy, he has silenced the doubters and he bucked off the haters. Let me tell you about this next fella. He's a bit of a wild card. This whippersnapper's always cooking with the spiciest of peppers. He's got the experience of a seasoned ranch hand, but he's showing all dogs can learn new tricks by line dancing all over the competition. There's a few things you learn out on the range, and one of them I learned early in my amateur ranching career was to always plan ahead. This tenacious youngster might be new to the LCS pasture, but his chatter ain't no humbug. He'll give you the horns with his Champs Q helmet every time. Well, it's time for me to hit the old dusty trail. We'll see you next time on the range and on the rip. I'm out of here.
Kobe, this one fits me. This one goes for you, right? This one?
I'm good on the LPL stuff.
Oh, wait, we're in the LCS.
Calm down, Emily. Calm down, Emily.
Get that one away. Welcome, everyone, to the LCS studio. For the first time, I'm here, and I'm joined by Kobe, and I could not be more happy. And we get to start off with a bit of a banger between Dig and NRG.
We do. And it's coming off of Palafox playing really, really sick yesterday, not only in real life, but also in game. He was actually a better AD carry even than FBI. I have heard that he's still under the weather, but he's playing through it, you know, and that's what you expect from the best. Palafox is up here grinding away. He's got the mask on for extra safety. But honestly, really impressed with him being able to push through and play yesterday. He was deathless on the Tristana there for NRG, and see if they can keep it going here because the playoff run is getting real tight.
It is getting real tight. We're getting close to the end of the split here in the LCS with about a week and a half to go now, which is actually just crazy to me. But also, speaking about that a little bit, he might have been sick, but I talked to him a little bit before the series, and he was pretty happy to say that in their wins, he has an 86 KDA on his own. All right, not too bad. Maybe we'll see if they can get that win, keep that KD up here for them today. But NRG on the other side, I feel like it's been a very curious affair for them. In round robin 2, they have literally done the opposite of what we saw in round robin 1 and being able to beat the teams they lost to and lose to the teams they won. So I think that's something else to kind of keep an eye on going through the rest of the round robin for them.
You can take the CLG out of them, but they retain the counter logic ways.
let's jump into this one. NRG versus Dignitas, and right into the bans. Dignitas, to me, one of the most exciting pick ban teams because of Rich and Dignitas' willingness to put him on any top lane champion under the sun. They tried the Gangplank yesterday and not so great. Let's see what they've got cooked up today, though. The Rumble ban has become necessary for any of these top laners that are willing to play the aggressive matchup. Licorice kind of started it, but now everybody's jumping on the train.
And I will say, last time we saw this matchup in round 1, it was Rich taking the Alawi. I know something a little bit favorite of yours.
Yes.
What is
Into the double tanks.
Into the double
punishing
tanks
the
as
blind
well.
tank. Love it.
We'll see if we maybe get a nice little ban there for him here. But we do get the Poppy ban over there on the blue side by NRG. We also have that rising priority to Tristana. Please don't ban Yuumi. I think we need to get rid of that sign at some point. But we do have the Ivern final ban for NRG.
Yeah, it's all right. The patch has done a lot of the heavy lifting for us.
You know, we don't have to do the work.
Reducing the amount of Yuumi on screen. And yeah, the Ivern band out here, risen to priority for a lot of junglers. Contractz, though, was the first for LCS to really jump on that train. Definitely aware that Santorin may play it as well, so they ban it out. And then they look more towards the bottom lane after delivering the respect ban of the Tristana due to Palafox's play yesterday. Like this kind of coverage here from Dignitas. A lot of focus on that mid lane because I feel like Palafox a bit better in the 1v1s than Jensen. Jensen really has been focused primarily on team fights, just scales up in lane and then looks to team fight with the squad later.
And that's something that Palafox actually brought up when I was talking to him as well. Is I was asking, do you look at the 1v1 against Jensen whatsoever and kind of tackle that in this matchup? He's like, Jensen hasn't been that dominant in lane this split. It's not something that he necessarily feels like he needs to focus on going into this matchup. We did get that first pick of the Kai'Sa there, though. Pretty big for NRG.
Yeah, and that could definitely go into the hands of Palafox or FBI. It is a true flex pick for this team. Obviously, yesterday they put in FBI's hands, but Palafox also definitely a bunch of the Kai'Sa mid games. And Santorin on the other side got a primary pick here for Dig. The Sejuani, he's a longtime Sejuani player, as well as them liking to pair it with these melee top laners for Rich and have a lot more top lane focus than some of the other teams in the LCS. Sejuani very good at those 2v2 duels, depending on your top laner.
And I really like the skirmishing it gives to Santorin. I think this is going to be a very skirmish-heavy jungle matchup itself. You also get the Pharrell Yordian duo, but the utility given out from that Ashe. We also have the Rell, which I've been loving in the LPL. We get some incredible ones here, but I'm more excited here to see IgNar on it.
Yeah, I was actually really sad I didn't get to cast the Rell jungle yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I actually talked to Armeo 3 weeks ago about Rell jungle. He had been playing it a lot. I have been playing it a lot too. And I definitely think it is super viable flex pick. So the Kai'Sa Rell is one of my favorite openings for pick ban 1-2 here because you can flex both of them to mid or to bottom lane, and in Rell's case, to jungle or to bottom lane. So NRG here remaining very flexible in the opener with their picks. Meanwhile, they get up the tried and true Renekton here in the top side. Very reliable pick. Although Rich has been quite good on the K'Sante and will probably be happy to take the K'Sante side of that matchup if they let it through. Meanwhile, Dignitas, they're not diverting from any of the game plan that we know and have come to expect from them. Jensen, scaling, teamfight, mid-mage, having Santorin on this frontline jungler here. So we'll see about the coverage bans now, if they want to put any more towards that mid lane, or if they're just going to expect the Kai'Sa.
I think trying to find something for Palafox. I know going into NRG's drafts, they want to try to attack you with a lot of the pool that they have. I also particularly like the big Dokes, big Croc there, as we'll have that Renekton come through. But second phase, we already get the Vi ban towards NRG, trying to take away those facilitators, but also the skirmish-heavy junglers for Contractz.
Yeah, Contractz has been doing a lot of work for this team. Contractz also has the highest mid-jungle proximity of any jungler in the LCS, spending so much of his time trying to work off of Palafox. That duo really working closely together in a lot of NRG's wins. So trying to break that synergy, even though on the current patch, I feel like Vi is sufficiently nerfed. They're still throwing Vi bans.
Click, okay? That's all that matters. It's one button.
They increased the cooldown on ultimate by 20 seconds. I was like, all right, that's going to be enough to take her off the priority, but hasn't been the case. Following up with a Nocturne ban too. Nocturne is primarily become a really big problem for a lot of teams when paired with like Nico mid or something like that. Another form of engage. I know it's super popular in LPL right now is the Nico plus Nocturne, and Dignitas, again, they're focused on banning jungle because of the flexibility of the Kai'Sa Rell, and they're not really going to waste anything into either of those positions. So just trying to will it down there for Contractz.
And we've seen pretty high prevalence of the Nocturne rising here in the LCS as well, but we do get the Braum lock-in for Poome. So another interesting occasion for Poome to have a lot of safety, but also a lot of peel back for Dignitas. Now we're looking at what they'll have for their counter pick on that 5th one, but NRG on the other side still have some likely candidates to get. The Rakan is actually the pickup.
Jungle Rell then again. Yes, I still get to cast a Jungle Rell game.
We get it. Let's go.
I do love it, especially after they buff the extra Q damage. You should always be maxing Q as Jungle Rell. By the way, with support, you have way more freedom with your skill ups, but jungle, there's just way too much monster camp damage in the queue right now. And meanwhile, can we get some more all in here? Please lock it in.
Let's go.
This is when this team, NRG, formerly known as CLG, were at their best. Is when they were using Dhokla and Palafox with aggressive solo lane matchups, and they had them on kill matchups. You know, they would be doing the Yone plus Akali or multiple things like that. This time around, picking up the Yone for Palafox and having the kill matchup into the Azir in mid lane, plus having Contractz on the huge playmaker that is Rell. Q flash into W plays from Rell is the bread and butter that you need to know as a jungler, and definitely playable into the Azir. Meanwhile, though, Dignitas, you always look at the top lane for the magic, Mazel.
You got to. We got the Quinn there. You see some of the stats. 1% pick, 1% ban, 100% win rate. That's all that matters, results-based analysis. But it is another one where in this matchup, Rich had a good time last time against Dhokla on the Alawi. Now he's willing to play with that flexibility yet again, go with the Quinn, and go with something that will be so strong in the side lane. It will require a bar of execution, though, for Dignitas.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to play a lot of defense here. Santorin needs to keep track of Contractz early, because Contractz has a lot of options for top triangle of the map. Both these solo lanes, very volatile, benefit hugely from jungle intervention. The Renekton into Quinn matchup on top side, even with the cleanse in the Quinn, even with the cleanse in the hands of the Quinn, if you get an early gank there, burn some summoner spells, then it is repeatable, can really, really bring that pick down. Has to play off of aggressive, pushing power, and try and get that CS lead early.
Well, we're getting into it now. It is our first day of this week, first game of this second day of week number 5. It is Dignitas versus NRG. We got Spice in the top lane. We also got a Rell jungle kicking it off. So you know today is going to be a little extra fun.
Very excited for this one. Rell has a lot of options with pathing as well. You can just go level 3 and try and do a level 3 gank really early. You can as well do level 2 ganks, but I think that's a little bit cheesy for LCS.
So I did get to be a watcher when Kanavi grabbed the Rell in competitive there for the first time.
Kanavi's pretty good.
It was pretty cool. It was a nice experience, but particularly it's about being proactive. I feel like, yes, you can always have a lot of big team fight influence, but especially Santorin on the Sejuani, they will be looking to take as much aggression as possible. And I gotta love all the love that we're getting on everyone here for my first cast. It's nice to be here, Kobe, and it's nice to get to kick off with some of that spice that we were talking about.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here with your first LCS cast with the live audience. Very excited for you.
It's different. It's different. Can I get any cheers? Can I get a little bit of yells going? Let's go. That's what you see. That's the difference. That's the biggest difference between remote broadcast.
You can get some level 1 action as well.
Maybe they're cheering for the level 1. We see Santorin have to burn that flash early. It's a bit of trouble, and Santorin's going to lack that tool early in his aggression.
No flash on the Sejuani. All right. Reduces a lot of the gank opportunities, but
early.
The failure on the level 1 here going to be pretty rough for Dignitas as he kind of limps back to base. Is going to be Quinn pushing topside too, because Dhokla was heading over to try and join if it was going to be another one of these crazy 10-person level 1 fights that we saw yesterday. Contractz is going to look to punish Santorin. Okay. He knows he has no flash. He knows he's low.
But Poome is right there. I think Contractz realizes he needs to use the crash down to get over the wall.
Really good cover here by Poome to help out Santorin, make sure he's not the victim
He's just going right back. Like, you know, go to the well twice. You see what happens the third time.
He's got smite advantage, so he can just walk on through, yoink it.
It's the flash smite, knowing that there's no response there, and Contractz coming up big.
Yeah, I don't know if he had to flash in there, but he really wanted to get there instantly.
Mental gap, all right? That's where you're flexing on him.
It is also going to push him fully out. It's IgNar tracking Santorin. So big punishment. NRG taking the level 1 play from Dig, turning it around on them, and then not letting them reset afterwards. Really good advantage here from Contractz. He's always looking for those aggressive angles, always looking to follow up on any openings with the invid. And here's a look at the bottom side pressure that was able to earn them the flash trade.
Yeah, that's actually pretty big too. As we actually saw Contractz looking at mid lane as well. Didn't get the flash out of Jensen, but something important.
And with the pushing mid lane here from Palafox, see it, actually Jensen's fighting him off with a wave, so yeah, Contractz might have to be a little scared.
But I like this proactivity from Contractz. I still think it's really important to continue on that ball, and knowing that they were able to kind of switch that around on Dignitas early is big for NRG.
Yeah, big bonus is that Rich on top side with the Quinn early versus the Renekton is able to push, did have the possibility of coming down and helping out to defend there. So Dignitas again kind of benefiting from Rich's willingness to play these top lane dual matchups.
And as we were talking about the skirmishing between junglers, a lot of proactivity for Contractz as well, and the side lane pressure that Rich will have, I particularly look at the rest of the map and how Palafox is going to have an influence against Jensen's scaling carry on the Azir, but particularly how this bot lane comes into the fold of this 5-on-5.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom lanes, I feel like, yeah, are going to be a lot less action until the 5-on-5 scenario. Braum brings that structure to your 5-on-5 to really help protect those carries in the backside. That they're definitely going to need with the triple range advantage them. And meanwhile, NRG, of course, going to be looking for a lot of these dives. NRG is a full dive team here. So once you get to that 5-on-5 and you get to bring the rest of the threat of the dive, any sort of flanks, any sort of break in the front line will be very detrimental to Dignitas. They're playing a lot of defense there. But until we get to that stage, still looking so much more towards the skirmishing here.
Yeah.
And Contractz with his Hex Flash here on the Rell can remain proactive. Probably just finish up on a bottom side clear and then see if he can actually punish this missing flash.
And I'm also wondering how quickly Poome and IgNar try to get out of their lanes, try to get influence. Because I think one of my favorite parts about Rakan in our recent meta here is just how active you can be on the map, the ability to peel, the ability to engage, but also IgNar with his kind of aggressive tendencies we have seen in his path, right? He was the guy that made the Fervor Leona all the big deals back in the day on Misfits, but we'll see if he can do something here.
Love it, Contractz. That Hex Flash we're talking about, getting a lot of use already. Also has the ability on Rell to be able to burn down this dragon, no problem. Pushing bottom lane, pushing mid lane. They come over, start it up, and this is going to be a very early first dragon for NRG. You were just talking about IgNar. You know, him trading flashes with Tomo pretty early on does also help out with a lot of that pressure, so they are rewarded for it. Hex Flash right back out of the Dragon Pit for Contractz.
Because it's just available, right? It's just an easy means of transport. It's like you're having your own personal Uber there. Although bot lane, Poome, a little bit of trouble.
Yep, trying to keep the wave here. Should be able to execute that cannon just in time as Tomo gets back to lane. Dhokla does get the stop on the recall.
All right, so who wins? A bird or a croc?
I'm gonna go crocodile every day of the week.
Have you seen some of those big birds though? Like birds of prey. I used to work in a zoo. All right, I'm just saying there's some big birds out there.
I've never seen a bird as big as a crocodile.
Baby croc. He's growing. He's
fair
growing.
enough. Dhokla, the baby crocodile.
He's turning into big dokes eventually. But as we get back into it.
In that matchup right now, you know, post level 6 here for Dhokla, if you're not able to keep track of Contractz here, and then why it's a very good hawk shot from Tomo, then you really do have to worry about these ganks into burning summoner spells and trying to take over, because we're 1 minute and 15 seconds away from the Rift Herald, but mid play is first.
That's pretty big, but the Emperor's Divide right back. Palafox will have to get back to his clone. He's trying to Fate Sealed out, but can he do it? Poome can't get the distance there. Palafox gets out using literally everything he has.
Santorin here for the counterplay, as is Poome, backing Jensen up, and now Palafox took so much damage under the tower. They keep him pinned there. He should be able to clean up the farm though, so No real big punish as it's a transfer of pressure down to bottom lane.
I'm looking to maybe punish FBI under tower there as this big wave crashing.
Yeah, and Contractz is still on top side. So they're going to be able to zone him off. All right, cannon minion at least will die. It's tanking a lot. That's one turret plate. How much can they deny from FBI here?
I love it because it's a little bit of revenge. Santorin, best served cold, he says, in first blood to Poome and Dignitas.
Oh, this is... honestly, I don't even know how they get themselves back out of this. Even with Contractz here, they got the kill. So Tomo denies even more experience to FBI. He gets another turret plate. Poome and Santorin are still playing bodyguard, and they're going again.
It feels so bad. He's just getting domed now. The cleanse, the flash, everything used. They get one trade back at least. The tower shots, it could just be enough. Contractz want to follow it up, but he is just a Rell. And they get one, but it is the trade back forth.
Yeah, they...
Oh, he's got the speed up here. IgNar's coming in as well. Able to get the first one. There's the cleanse down from Tomo.
All right. Able to get back an extra kill. Man, going for the second dive there too, though. This Dignitas bottom lane. See what we can do with the lead. Contractz again trying to punish in the aftermath. Picks up at least a little bit of counter jungling for himself. But very good proactive play there from Santorin and Poome. Very long sequence, a full minute. They counter gank mid lane. They transfer the pressure down bottom side after forcing Palafox under the tower, knowing that they've got this extra, 30 seconds at least of pressure there, and able to make the bottom side plays really worth it. 2 turret plates into the hands of Tomo.
Oh, we'll spot out Contractz taking the blue. We'll take a brunt of damage here as the crash down comes through. FBI has also joined, and Poome is like, why are there 3 people in my jungle? He goes down.
I love it. Fun facts, Dignitas have the highest combined kills per minute in their games, and it looks like it's not going to stop. NRG here with the counterplay. They take the blue buff, they take the support's life as well. Meanwhile, it does mean Santorin on vision is going to be trying to burn down this Rift Road, but it takes so long, it's going to be enough time for the roam up. Look at the mini-map right now. Poome and IgNar and Contractz on the way up, and they cause him to stop. He has to leash it. Full reset there for the Herald.
Hesitancy coming out around the objectives, even after that early play down bot lane, and even with this small advantage for Dignitas. We'll see Contractz will spot that one out, but Rich will rush down here to the Rift Herald and be able to kind of pull them off of it.
Everybody's coming here for Dig. You can see Ashe moving up the river. So can NRG, though. They see Ashe moving on the wards, and they're just making the call. All right, we give up Rift Herald, keep FBI bottom. Contractz is poking around. He's not going to give up.
Oh, no. And as soon as you use that crash down, you have no real way out. And Rich is just peppering in the damage. Tomo and Jensen trying to get over here to help their team. And Contractz is already gone. Got a nice little Fate Seal combo with Dhokla there. And they're turning it around a little bit. Boom! That's a double kill for Palafox. Emperor's Divide comes back, though, and he pushes him right back. Oh, no. Dignitas end up turning it around. And Rich is coming around for more. See Palafox get back to the defensive structure, but Dig strike first.
NRG saw Ashe coming up on the wards. They knew they were going to be outnumbered because they made the call to have FBI stay bottom, and yet they still go to contest the Rift Herald. They pay the price, Mazel.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tax being paid right now after that one. And Jensen will be able to get the push in here. Yes, Palafox will have the TP right back. We got to look at that replay.
Okay, so off of mid wave here, they're moving up. Contractz jumps in a little bit aggressive there. Even with the Rell ultimate trying to peel for himself, he goes down pretty quickly. Tomo and Jensen move over. Palafox ults over the side of the blue buff wall here to be able to come in and pick up these 2 kills. So it's a double kill for Palafox. But still, the follow-ups here from Dignitas. Flashing forward, Rich is able to get the kill onto Dhokla.
Let's go. Got the young fans in there. Gotta appreciate that. Start them young, they'll love League of Legends forever. Speaking of loving League of Legends, I think Dignitas are loving this game of League of Legends right now. We will see, though, I think the bar of execution is still there. You did get that static shiv completed there for Rich, so side lane pressure, even more mounting against RNG. The NRG.
And the only thing they really have to worry about right now are some of these dive plays. Those 2 kills that went over to Palafox might be an issue later on once the Yone starts to get going with a couple item completions, but Contractz looking bottom while Dhokla taking some harassment under tower.
Contractz kind of baiting out with that Hex Flash. Decided not to pull the trigger, not going to show himself just yet on bottom side. But Santorin is here as well. Could get a little 3v3 action while we did have early Dragon priority for NRG with that first one. See if they do want to keep that priority up with the push they have in bot lane.
All right, they rotate over yet again. But honestly, this team fight is looking pretty good.
Flash, the crash down the Fate Seal. That's the Wombo combo there, but delivery straight to Rich with the Emperor's Divide, and Palafox gets burned down, as apparently the bird is feasting today as the double combo flaps all over him.
And Rich had the Rift Herald as well, so they're going to take the tower. The Quinn moved down from the top side. Look at the ward coverage from them. Dignitas here all through this river. Rich is able to move down. They get the counterplay. Ashe arrow up from the bottom, Quinn from the top, and Jensen takes the whole tower with the help of the Rift Herald. Mid lane prio secured. Guess what? They dealt with those 2 kills on the Yone pretty easily.
Yeah, they did, apparently. And Jensen just gets a giant pack of gold delivered to his front door. And you love that because we were setting in the draft. He grabbed this to make sure he can be that sustainable late game carry for them. Well, he's already got a ton of gold here. He's about to go spend 1,700 of it. NRG need to make something happen. They get the nice little grand entrance there. Santorin gets taken down himself as IgNar gets the kill.
1 back for NRG. They're still hunting Contractz over the wall. Can he get the Q? He does.
Oh, a little bit of knock-up follow-up there. FBI can't get into range just yet. And Poome able to get there with that stand behind me. And actually Tomo able to punch back a little bit there. So you love to see some, but NRG, they are looking. They are fiending to find something on the map here. And Rich is looking for a solo kill and a Dhokla.
Yeah, and NRG need to, because this game is slipping out of their control. Dignitas have drafted a pretty solid 5-on-5. You're mentioning the benefits of Braum, and you really get to see that once we transition into these team fights around the Dragons with the setup. But here's another look. Bird from the top. There's going to be an Ashe arrow from the bottom as well.
There's all the birds, Kobe.
Yeah, Rich was able to get the E onto Palafox into Santorin coming through with the ulti from Sejuani, so they absolutely blast that Yone, focusing him down. The knockback into the stun, and really make good on another counterplay mid.
And that's a 3.5k gold lead now for Dignitas under the 15-minute mark. They also take multiple outer towers. There's not any defense to really be played around for NRG around this top side of the map.
It's really been such a fun thing to see this addition of Rich change the way that Dignitas play and give them such a unique identity. They're the only team, pulling out a lot of these extreme top lane picks. And again, Rich having a lot of success with this Quinn. That mid play was very successful, plus all of the early gold off of the top side in the 1v1. You mentioned the static shiv. Guess what? Wave control into roaming is going to get a lot easier for the Quinn now.
It's so deadly, man. He's just going to be such a pain.
And blue buff is actually very important on Quinn. You can definitely spam yourself out of mana on this champion in the mid game. So being able to grab the blue as well, very big for him.
I'm just saying, we have had some slower games. I appreciate both teams kind of leaning into my style with the LPL. We got fights all over the place, a lot of chaos here between both teams, but also leaning back to that point you were saying earlier, right? Dignitas are the team that have the most combined kills. They are insanely aggressive, and NRG like to buy their time in these games. We'll see this big on 4v3, 4v4 now, coming into the bot lane, but it should be just another tower for Dignitas.
And about to be an arrival of the bird too. When you have your mid tower down so early in the game, dealing with a Quinn becomes almost impossible here. And that's going to be the last of the outer towers. Dignitas take the entire outer ring of defenses from NRG. So now it's free roam for the Quinn. And when you have the blue buff as well, just continually mounting back up. Here it is, the teleport counterplay from NRG. Can they make it?
Is this the big Dokes play they've been looking for? Tomo is aggressed on by FBI. You got another TP in behind from Jensen, though, as Dignitas, they're trying to take the fight. Dhokla has joined up, but is it the Wombo combo from your dreams? You got a nice pushback from Jensen, but it's NRG who find 2 for Palafox.
They're good for 2. They leave the top side open, though. Quinn is going to be pushing on that tower. We'll see how quickly Rich can get it. NRG, they take their swing with their dive comp, and they find it successful. That's a couple of kills for them. They need that money. But Dignitas are so far ahead at this point that it's merely a dent, honestly. And Jensen sticking around afterwards, with the security of his Azir turret, even contesting Contractz on the Krugs. Let's take another look at it. the teleport in the back there for Big Dokes, and then the initiation.
I like that move from FBI, trying to find it. Just, it takes so long for Dhokla to walk his giant croc that way. And I think Jensen here with a little pullback in the end is a big difference maker there to get Dignitas out.
Jensen absolutely saves the day for Dig, keeping this from being even worse, just keeping it at those 2 kills instead of it being completely devastating for them. He puts up the Azir turret, he ults back 3 members, and keeps the blood loss at only 2 members of Dig down, so they can continue right back to their objectives here. Rift Trail number 2 should be pretty easy. Dragon will be spawning only in 40 seconds here, so NRG are already setting up their vision in the river. You see IgNar, like you mentioned, looking for some deep flank angles here on that Rakan. He can be a difference maker for NRG as well, since now they don't have the teleport flank option from Dhokla.
And I always appreciate the Poome Braum, but I think the Rakan in this situation is just such an enabler for NRG. And speaking of enabling, maybe they're going to be able to find Rich in the side lane. He is a very fluid bird, all right? He's pretty quick on the draw, able to make it out of there. But I find IgNar's story, IgNar's journey, at least at this point, so interesting, right? He made all of his fame on Misfits, came over to FlyQuest, didn't necessarily have the greatest foray in there, and now making something happen here with the side of NRG.
Yeah, let's see if he can pull this game back, because it's looking like Dignitas aren't going to stop. It's only 18 minutes into the game, and Rift Trail number 2 is going to allow them to expose this top inhibitor. They don't want to take it quite yet. NRG are going to take their compensation dragon, so this will be 2 for NRG. I still like the call here from Dignitas because they open up topside already. Inhibitor will be exposed, and then they get the earlier rotation over towards mid lane to get tower number 2.
I can't believe, like, at this point, we're playing PvE-based destruction. Dignitas have taken everything on the map, it feels like, from NRG, and while we've gotten some trade backs for some neutral objectives, you're going to be getting second item completions here coming very quickly for Dignitas.
Really like the options they've set themselves up with too. Rich being able to push out these waves on side lanes so quickly and roam on over. Dignitas doing a good job pushing multiple lanes to make sure that they get the better end of the deal. NRG though, again, this team is all about a huge engage, diving in and trying to completely crush the team fight of Dignitas, trying to crush those carries in the back line. Working around the Braum will be critical. Looking for flank angles is critical. So they're putting a lot of effort into trying to clear away some of this vision so they can just keep the hope alive of that dream fight where they find some picks and they are able to get an objective after they get some kills.
I will say this is also a pretty nice change of pace for Dignitas compared to yesterday. I think yesterday could be seen as a bit of a rough-in for them, and to be able to see them kind of use a very flexible draft like this, but also find the ways to put that pressure in NRG's face has been really nice to see.
Certainly has. Looking very good. We had the Quinn roaming down mid multiple times, counter ganking mid. Santorin and Poome doing a very good job protecting Jensen for the early stages. And guess what? Now it's time for Jensen to pay him back.
You've been waiting for the payback. You didn't have to wait that long at least.
Two items spike here. Azir did go for the Nashers build as well for the extra attack speed. So if they're able to keep him safe, the Crown plus the Nashers completely auto-attacking from the backside, and the help of the Quinn pushing on the other side. Pretty good secure of the...
Oh, not going to find it. Jensen's a little bit too quick there. We'll see actually NRG redeploy.
Yeah. Pretty good secure of the map here, though, for Dig, and they're going to fire out an arrow.
Okay, they're just going all in now as well, following up the Glacial Prison and the Glacial Fisher. As all the Freljordians combine there, won't be able to find it.
2 pretty big cooldowns here for Dignitas. And NRG are looking for some sort of punish. Doesn't look like there's going to be an opportunity for them to get it, though, and Rich.
Is there a way that Dhokla wins this in the side lane? Because he got a TP now coming in for Palafox. He might be able to get this with the Fate Seal. Can't get the distance. Rich will flash, and look at that speed.
Good cleanse, and he turns around for the auto to get the fleet footwork extra speed there for Rich. He escapes with cleanse and flash, and it was a flash plus a teleport invested from NRG. 2 for 2 on summoner spells, and much longer cooldown on that teleport too, so big play there from Rich. Even as the rest of Dignitas were retreating, they just been pushed out after investing Sejuani ult and Ashe ult. So NRG were looking, they knew, all right, we've got some cooldown advantages, maybe we can find a pick play. Dig, they make the play bottom side. Rich trying to absorb some extra pressure, and now with full vision coverage over Baron, they're making NRG sweat.
We had a little bit of pullback on the action. Both teams trying to find things, playing a little bit aggressive at moments. But now this is the pull for Dignitas to force a Baron at 22 minutes in. Did they try to actually take the fight there with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow? Jensen around the side. This was all just a bait.
Abandoned ship! Get out of there, Dignitas! They draw energy over, and it's a little bit too close for comfort. Nobody gonna go down. No.
I was hoping for a burger flip. No,
no fight actually explodes. So everybody just calls it at that. There is the wave here pretty far down on bottom side, but it's going to be fine for NRG. So it's a good check from NRG. They force Dig out. See about Rich round 2, though. Now he's got no safety of flash cleanse summoner spells with Dhokla, so it has to be a little bit more respectable.
Oh, thought he was going to get it there. Rich able to take away the red buff. But looking at the side lane, we've seen Renekton smash onto the scene now. We've seen so many 1v2s across the world. We've seen so much like that. The Quinn, I feel like, is just such a strong answer. But do we ever see a side lane that goes the way of Dhokla?
Yeah, and it's usually reserved for solo queue because it does require your team play much more around it and require the extra attention. But they've been able to have success once again with Rich, kind of bullying the matchup, taking advantage of the early levels, with the range advantage and accruing the CS lead, so that now you get to the mid game and guess what? They've got the extra power on sides. Everybody 5-on-5 now mid though, as Dragon's about to spawn. Mid!
Okay, there's still the knockback. The bait sealed was a beautiful call there, but the Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes back, and Palafox gets sniped down by Rich. That's not NRG not wanting to back off, though. Its shutdown goes to Big Dokes. You still got to look at the pick off on the Jensen. FBI almost gets him, but this is a nice little front to back for NRG, where they find a comeback.
Okay, now not done yet, Big Dokes.
Oh, Dhokla going a little bit far forward, but Tomo can space so well. And with that approach velocity, you can't really get away. The TP will be end up used by Jensen to rejoin the fight. But look how confident Tomo's playing.
Okay, Contract's going to heal up off these Raptors. Dignitas already looking towards the Dragon with Jensen coming back full health here. He is the one with the power. Can he raise an Azir turret here mid? Contractz is the only one who can actually contest. It should be Dragon for Dignitas. Off of that skirmish. Palafox had a good ult to ult over the Azir ult, but then Jensen had a better stopwatch. Broken stopwatch in inventory. That is the key there. He lives even with the W snipe later from FBI. Not quite enough damage on that one to finish him off, and Dignitas in the end get the Dragon off of it.
And that's the thing about a lead like this, is you can have as much fight back as you want from NRG, but you are still in a hole, and we see them trying to dig themselves out here in the replay.
So here it is. Palafox, he had the Q knock up into the ult for Jensen's ult, but then the broken stopwatch is enough. And Rich's last one there killed him.
I can't believe that.
Even though he was snapping back. Immediate punishment, though, as the rest of NRG avenge Palafox, and they destroy the Quinn, bursting him down.
Tomo, damn it. Like, he's just keeping them so close.
And yeah, exactly. And that's the key there, is the slow from the Ashe. The damage from the Ashe, not super high, but the extra kiting ability and the slow there keeps the rest of them off. Defends the rest of the teammates, buys time.
So Palafox can be a big saving grace for NRG here as he tries to get Poome. The Glacial Fissure does come down, but it will not save him. IgNar gets that kill, and NRG, they're starting to find a little energy.
And that's exactly what they have to do. Keep making looks, keep forcing these plays, because if they don't, then they'll get out split pushed by the Quinn. So Palafox, again, takes the initiative. He takes matters into his own hands, even playing sick on stage again, looking for the plays to get energy back in, and they find one kill onto Poome, which is a little bit of gold, but really what you win there is time on the map to actually retake vision around Baron. Even greater reward.
And I love it for Palafox, going back to that point, is he found that the strength for him was his vast champion ocean that he has. He feels like NRG can find wins just starting at the draft with that. And I love that he's willing to bring the Yone out here with the combination of the Rell and a lot of the wombo combos that can be available. We've been seeing them try to pull off.
Yeah, he's, especially when Palafox is playing with confidence, really NRG are at their best. And him constantly looking for these plays has to be a big part of that initiation.
We'll see if they can actually put it all together. It's like trying to form a puzzle piece with a bunch of crazy ones.
There we go again.
We'll start up the Baron, and we're going round 2 here. Got TP coming in now as well. We'll see them if they want to take the fight instead. It looks like they were just trying to bait it yet again, trying to catch out Dhokla. They get the Emperor's Divide. They're going to have to go in. NRG won it, though. Look at Palafox. He finds Tomo in the back, and NRG, they're doing it. They get one on a Poome, too, and it's just team fight potential coming out from them. It's Jensen trying to get away, but he gets locked down again, and it's all she wrote for Dignitas. 4 down.
Clutch fight for NRG there, and the reward will be Baron. Rich doesn't even try and stick around for a miracle steal. NRG, they find their angles here on the team fight. Teleport from Palafox in the back, and it's no hesitation. This team comp does one thing, Mazel, it dives, and they found the backline carries there. Tomo annihilated. No flash, no cleanse used. Let's take a look at it here. It's going to be teleport from topside. They go after Dhokla. He flashes to gain some extra range. Jensen still follows him, and they do get the crocodile, but then he's in the middle. You've used everything to peel and try and get that crocodile. FBI just ults right in onto Tomo. Palafox is there with the E over the wall. So FBI and Palafox here annihilating the Ashe and then forcing the early Zonias from Jensen. Jensen never got to an auto attack, never got to make use of any of that. So really good job from NRG jumping on the backline. And Dhokla, while he did get caught, he absorbed all of their cooldowns here. There was no Azir ultimate left to peel. And so Kai'Sa just got to freely ultimate into the back line. And they assassinated. Now here, looking for round 2.
They're feeling rambunctious here. I know we had the birds on the side of Dig, but it's looking like the Red Bull Baron buff is giving them the wings as they get one on a Poome again. And they are just consistently taking the fight here to Dignitas. That was a triple kill for FP5 before he went down, but a quadra in the end. And NRG, they just got a gold lead for the first time in the game.
Oh my goodness. Killer Instinct, aptly named skill for FBI here. He goes under the tower to finish that quadra. Tower down, and with the Baron buff, NRG completely erase the Dignitas gold lead. They take it for themselves.
This was a game where Dignitas were up 4K at 13 minutes, Kobe. Like, this is actually such an incredible fight back for NRG, and it's the composition coming together. It's Palafox leading the way with a lot of these sealed fates.
And that's what we were talking about during Champion Select. These types of draft for NRG, when they're much more aggressive, these melee solo laners, doubling up so they can always look for fights. Contractz starts it out, nice Rell combo, into Rakan combo, into Yone ultimate, and guess what? 2 members are just dead. Beautiful CC chain there from NRG. FBI ulting into the backline and finishing
Oh, they're
it.
going to do it again. They got the engage there from Contractz as well. There's the Sea of Fate. The combos ring true. My goodness, it's beautiful to see as NRG now with a 3K lead will take their 3rd dragon of the game.
Oh, they're running it now. Summoner's Rift is NRG's.
It truly is. We got the namesake over there too. And I might need to go give this sweatband over to Dignitas because they are sweating in this first game of the day. We see this Baron buff still there for a little longer. Won't be able to get too much here, but maybe an inhib tower, or inhib at least for NRG.
Yeah, should be able to finish up that inhibitor, no problem for themselves. Back right out. They've already got side lanes pushing with Palafox and Dhokla immediately going to tend to those side lane minion waves. So much here retaken by NRG in the last couple of minutes. They just exploded off that one team fight. This is really, really nice to see from them. The confidence that they're playing with, no hesitation in these engages, just dogpiling on the back line of Dignitas. And they're even going to get another turret for themselves here. This gold lead has completely rubber banded all the way back. 4.5K for NRG in addition to the 3rd dragon.
And we were talking about it beforehand. There was a stake to be set here where NRG, they were looking at undoing all their mistakes or maybe having some more mistakes from that first round robin. They were trying to find that opposite feeling, and Dignitas came out with the Alawi the first round robin, took out NRG. They want some revenge, and it seems like fate at this point, the way that we've had this gold swing in the game.
Yeah, really nice job. They've been able to collapse on the Dignitas back line. Dignitas now, they're the ones looking at some sort of structured defense, some type of front to back team fight. It seems impossible for them to keep NRG off their backline at this point, though, with the amount of dive NRG are bringing, and don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, because look at this. Now it is actually NRG players with those luxury items, the stopwatches, to accentuate the dives. Both carries here for NRG can go straight into the backline, and as long as their items are working, we'll be able to have the safety of the stopwatch. Contractz and Poome make another look.
If they're not working, maybe call customer support.
Yeah, excuse me, what's wrong with this watch?
What's going on? I don't understand. Tier 2 tower, though, on the bottom side should be the next focus for NRG. And we're at a point where Dig's composition, they had those early skirmishes, they had a lot of cohesion in that, Rich with a lot of power in the side lane, but now the Quinn, it doesn't have that same influence that the Renekton brings to the team fights.
Certainly doesn't. See what he can do on the side lanes, though. He still has mobility and a static shiv to rely on. Only problem is NRG, now that they've retaken so much of the map, they can rotate over, and you see Rich has to pay respect. He can't get these shoves on the side lanes anymore. NRG have fully taken over and almost blacked out the map for Dignitas. They have to hover inside their own territory here, cautiously moving out.
And it's so interesting. I know I talked to you earlier about who wins, a croc or a bird. But now I feel like we have to go back to that conversation, revisit it, because Dhokla has grown up into the big croc that he was always meaning to be. But this has been a growth not only in this game, but for Dhokla as a whole, right? Coming away from that 2022 spring MVP in NACL, the most valuable prospect, it has been really cool to see him find his niche on this NRG roster, previously CLG.
Yeah, definitely love to see this this NRG squad performing. A lot of people fell in love with this team because of this type of explosive playstyle where they would play double carry solo laners. Dhokla himself starting up this Baron, and the rest of the squad should be able to burn it down. Doesn't look like it's going to be any check from Dig, even though they do have a hawk shot. They know they cannot win this fight. There's way too many angles in the jungle. You can't afford to fight in the jungle here. There's just too many ways that NRG can get onto your backline, and their best hopes for Dig are try to play at tower, try and make use of the Braum and Azir peeling.
Oh,
side lane though.
Palafox trying to catch out Rich there, ends up missing the sealed fate, but maybe the chase down from Santorin and Rich. They get the Gale Force forward. They're TPing now as well. Dhokla coming to join the fight. He goes golden. That's that stopwatch you were highlighting earlier, and it means that Rich is just out of the fight now. Santorin's like, oh goodness, I gotta find a way out. Meanwhile, their team is being engaged on the other side of the rift, as it's gonna be the TP coming in from Palafox. They gotta try to save the day as they got bursted under that Baron wave.
And they got the Kai'Sa here. The top side play, the defense at the tower for Dig. Jensen makes the play, they kill FBI, and Dignitas now trying to reignite that hope. What an exciting first game you've got here, buddy.
It is great. I would not trade it for anything else. We had such interesting storylines coming together. Dignitas with all those kills in their belt throughout their season, making sure to keep it bloody, while NRG, they go the distance, and they have gone the distance in this first game as well. They are one away from that soul. We have Mountain coming up now, but it is pressure and topside on Rich, and he gets his GA pop, but Dignitas, they don't want to let that go unchecked. They want to try to take down Palafox here. That'd be a nice little shutdown as well, and they're going to give it straight to Jensen. Big Daddy Bucks.
Wait, they're doing this at such a terrible time. NRG, they're going to give up 2 Contractz down. The Dragon is available. That could be an objective bounty shutdown for Dignitas, and that is a Dragon Soul denial. They just flopped really hard, Mazel. That is the exact wrong time to be giving away kills on the top side of the map to Dignitas.
How do you like your burgers, Kobe? I'm asking you that right now.
Love me a good flip. Love me a good flip.
Oh, goodness gracious. This will be a third dragon. We're going to soul point for both sides as IgNar just has to stand there and watch.
I love that these turns are making the game so exciting.
Yes.
but
your heart's okay?
It is really doing some things to my blood pressure here with the back and forth nature of this game. NRG had looked so confident retaking control, and then perhaps just too overconfident on the top side. A moment of hubris can really cost you an entire game, and when we're sitting tied 6 and 7 in the standings here, that could be a very big punish. Let's see if Dignitas can actually make good on the full comeback. They were able to deny that Dragon Soul, get an objective bounty shutdown to also cut down on the gold lead, and they still have that strong front-to-back team fighting if the Braum peel and the Azir peel are able to keep carries up here, they can definitely still take it.
And we've seen, you know, teams in the LCS, the ones already locked in, right? 9 wins will be a nice saving grace. As a stool, as the time goes on, gets a little bit less. But I think both these teams definitely not wanting to drop anything, coming so close to the end of the split. We have about a week and a half left here. And I love that we're getting so much shown out. We're almost at a 40-minute bangerino here between NRG and Dig.
That's a technical
Look at that.
term.
That's an LPL gold graph right there. You could take away the screen and just show it to me. I'd be like, oh, maybe that's the LPL. But it is LCS, and we are going all the distance here.
So we have got like a full throw from red to blue, and then a half throw. There's a little half throw here. There's a little half step. Let's see if that gets completed. The longer we get into the game too, like we are getting close to filling up inventories.
I mean, both mid laners already sitting pretty there as well. And I think right now Jensen will have a lot to say in these fights. He has been a saving grace here in the last couple ones as well with those Emperor's Divides, things like that. But the spacing, the bar of execution is definitely a little bit higher on the side of Dignitas.
Yeah, we've completely come down to choice in plays here for both teams. So much depending on the way that this fight starts as well. So let's see who can get inside. Vision, of course, is always, you know, step number one. It's the most boring thing to talk about.
Or is it the most entertaining because it sets up you can actually see things? All right, we do want to see some at least of that vision control, because this has been a moment in the last little bit that NRG has had that full vision control, and you're still struggling for Dignitas to find it.
Yeah, and they're trying to make another power play here into blue quadrant of the jungle. They're setting it up. You know, they're doing their due diligence. Step number one, the plan is laid. Can they now make good on the actual fight? Because Dignitas do have a very good defensive setup. If you can get the dive team to have to come through these openings, it's so much less effective and much easier for Dig to defend. So they're just huddling around these inhibitor openings, hoping that NRG are going to give them another opportunity to get that big pushback.
And if they can find it, it would have a little bit of an opening for them. But I do also want to check into kind of that wombo combo we've seen NRG pull off so much here. This all started by grabbing the Contractz Rell. And I think this pick here, while we are seeing some finickiness early on in the game, I think here at this later part, it's so important to find those big magnet storms.
Yeah. So much playmaking potential from basically what I see.
Too.
Basically what I see as the evolution of the jungle meta is, depending on your point of view. Never mind, Palafox is going for a little exciting check.
Exciting for the other side, at least, as Palafox gets taken out. That's the Glacial Prison used. So nice little cooldown, at least an engaged tool from Dignitas down.
Oof, Palafox going to heal back up off those Raptors. Okay, so that is going to be Sejuani ult for not too much on the side of NRG. There was no ult from Palafox. It was just his E to go in and fully heals up off of jungle camps. So these tiniest of little advantages there with a small cooldown now left on that Sejuani ult.
And the thing about a situation like this, we've had base busting already for both sides. One big fell swoop of a team fight ends the game here. You see the flank, Contractz looking for that game end. They get the double grand entrance, FBI. He's getting focused down by Rich though and the rest of Dignitas. It is a very split fight as Poome's on the other side trying to save Tomo now. He's still alive. And Santorin gets locked down, maybe gets out, the flash comes through as both junglers running parallel. Can't get back to their teams. Now we do see them reach up as Rich looking very aggressive, trying to spot them out here with all that mobility we were highlighting earlier.
No way, Tomo lives there. 0 HP almost left on that Ashe. He barely gets out, throwing out the W from Kai'Sa to hope for a lucky fight.
He dies this time. There's the shutdown and the blast cone to safety for Palafox. The Baron goes over, and now the Red Bull wings are covering over Dignitas.
How does he get out of this one, though?
Palafox pretty big here. The Emperor's Divide locks him out, and you got the GA, but it's not going to buy enough time here. You got 4 members of Dignitas, and it will be the kill going to Rich.
So NRG do actually finally kill Tomo. You're like, aha! At least
got him.
We're gonna finish that kill. We're gonna finish that pick. But Dignitas get everything out of it. It's even more influential in the next team fight because they got the Guardian Angel off of Palafox. And you see, Palafox, while dead, did sell it. So I want to see what he replaces with, because Guardian Angel on cooldown, maybe he feels like there's something more valuable here. Giving over the extra kill, plus the Baron, though, plus the Guardian Angel activation is going to be huge. Now it's just the top laners with Guardian Angels ready.
And you do wonder now that we're getting to this point, we have items being sold on both sides. You just got a Bloodthirster there, complete for Rich as well. But coming back into these next team fights especially, I think Dignitas have been able to find a lot of comeback, right? We are literally at a dead ball state at 42 minutes in the game. And I think this has shown a lot of the grit that Dignitas have been able to provide, especially in the first round robin for them of this split.
Definitely agree. Let's see if we can keep this pace up. So, Mountain Soul on the side of NRG, Baron on the side of Dignitas. Slowly trying to push in on bottom side. It's a 4-1 split push opted for by Dig.
Contractz is on a ward.
It's a little bit dangerous though because they don't have the best vision to support the Rich split push, so their 4-1 is going a little bit slow for Dig. Rich now on the next minion wave, and Contractz is in!
Killer Instinct from FBI in the backline here as well. The Fate Sealed isn't going to be enough. You got Dhokla in there too. NRG, they're doing it! That's already 2 there as well for FBI. They're cleaning house now too. The only that's left is Santorin and Rich, and Santorin should get taken out by Palafox. I actually don't think he gets him here. I think Santorin makes it out alive, and he does indeed. So 3 down for Dignitas, and that should be a push up the mid lane for NRG.
Rich seeing if he can cut minion wave, but NRG are defending it nicely. All right, with that Dragon Soul, they're going to run it all the way up. There's 3 members now, and it's just Rich and Santorin.
Look how fast he is, though. See, you can't be distracted by that. It's just the inhib that they're here for. They want to try to put an end to this game. And while there still is the Baron buff there for 30 seconds, gives them a little bit of safety under these towers, they're still trying to dive underneath. Got the combo of Contractz and IgNar, but now it's the focus on the Nexus turrets. Is this where they finish it? Is this where NRG make good on their second round robin? They're taking them down 1 by 1, and they're looking at the Nexus now. The final body falls, and Dignitas is no more. NRG will take that revenge, and they'll take game number 1 of the day.
Action-packed game to start off your LCS debut. Well done, Mazel.
It was a fun one. I just got to give thanks to both these teams putting everything on the line. But NRG, I cannot stop lauding them. I think this second round robin has been such a curious occasion for them. The growth that they've had, the revenge that they've had against a lot of these teams. Let's go check in on the medal ceremony we have here coming in as well. We're going to go check in with our winners in NRG.
And here we have NRG approaching the podium for the medal ceremony. I believe first up is going to be the bronze medal, and that will go to IgNar, representing the Republic of Korea. He has been in League of Legends for quite a long time, known for his fantastic engages, many of which we saw today. Over at the silver medal, we're going to check in with FBI representing Australia. And finally, the gold medalist, Palafox. This is his 3rd player of the game gold medal of the split. Congratulations to NRG.
Some hardware given over some fans here as well. Thank you guys so much for the love, but what a way to kick it off as well. And also love to give some medallions out to the team. Palafox, we talked about him early on, right? He had an 86 KDA and their wins maybe a little bit different now.
I want to hear explanations from the judges on these awards here, because there was so many contributions from multiple members there for NRG. Nicely pulled out though. What an exciting one.
And we're actually going to take a look at that last fight where NRG took it out and went for the game end.
Yeah, Contractz there in the Wolf Pit. There is a ward as well. But they had been split pushing. It was 4-1 split push for Dig and NRG. As they've been looking all game long, they make good on their full dive. They attack the 4 part of the 4-1, absolutely demolish them.
I just can't believe that after all of that, we had the Rell jungle actually come out on top, but it was the combos, the wombos that just kept getting pulled off.
Yeah, and Contractz had some really good flanks. He wasn't on the podium,
He was on a ward that entire last fight. He still pulled it off.
on the podium in my heart. He had the other good flank around the back of Baron to get the other initiation for them. Anyways, very exciting one. Nicely done there from NRG.
And that was it for our first game. But a reminder that Fantasy LCS is happening over on a Sleeper. Make sure you lock in your picks and bans for next week's games if you want to top your league. And we'll see you next. We're headed to break. Fly versus EG is next. But before that, let's take a look at how EG did in their LCS Triathlon.
Every week at the LCS, we watch the top League of Legends players go head-to-head on the Rift. There's no doubt that each and every one is an elite gamer. But that got us thinking, who is the best all-around LCS pro player? We have devised a time gauntlet where we'll test their adulting skills by how quickly they can make a bed, test their physical abilities by making a target toss, and of course the most skillful expression of League of Legends ability, Scion Speedway. This is the LCS Triathlon. Welcome back to the LCS Triathlon. I have EG here, Revenge, and Armeo. I think Revenge is going to put up a big time. He's actually won the coin toss and decided to go first against Armeo. 3, 2, 1, go! That's pretty good early strat.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Sleep hopping now.
He's been thinking about this.
He's been thinking about it way more than I have.
This is good. No, this is
How is he
speed.
going at this pace? This is ridiculous.
Now he's doing the third.
So you have
This
to be
is
touched.
still
Does
this
it
is
have
still
to be
a good
touched
touch.
perfectly
That's 3.
like this?
Not perfect. He did really good. All right, and then Pills just have to go on top.
The comforter.
Tucking in the
He
comforter?
tucked the comforter. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a play. That's a
Wait,
play.
you can just throw it on top though.
Yeah, good enough. Good enough. He's done. All right, one shot. If you miss all of them, he hit the first shot. What? On the Scion Speedway. Armeo's down.
Oh!
He is so focused.
I mean, you've
You
been
like
playing
this?
Scion permanently, so this is basically second.
I'm gonna be the complete opposite.
Oh, he hit another wall.
Not the best performance here.
I think he might be
More Scion
going.
games.
He might be going for the record.
Oh. I think it's
His
fine.
first 2 were so good that I feel like he can make some mistakes here.
Okay. Didn't make a mistake.
Do you have to like get into the blue orb thing?
No, you just that's just kind of
the path,
that's like the middle of the road. Yeah, just take the path. Just got to get to the Nexus laser. And time.
Wow.
Official time is 2:06.
I mean, he actually had like a perfect run, so I'm doing.
I mean, that's part 1.
Now he's nervous. See, that's why I wanted to go first. I want to make him nervous.
I mean, I
Like,
knew I was
now-
gonna lose.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, just throwing everything off.
Okay, he's just copying your strats.
Nice.
It's
I like
fine.
that.
That's smart.
Okay, I'm a little worried. I
He's
might choke
checking
this.
that the sheets have that he's got the sheet in the right orientation.
Okay, it's already like this, right? Okay.
A little bit slow.
I'm sorry, guys. Chill. I'm gonna lose.
Come on, you got this.
Okay.
How often do you tuck
I
your,
can-
like, do your bed?
I
Don't
talk-
instigate, Raz.
Do not talk to me about
Don't
it.
instigate, Raz.
Do not talk to me about it.
Okay, Armeo, I have bad news. You have lost your revenge, but you should continue.
What?
Already?
This is harder than the game, man. Than the LCS game.
Harder than beating FlyQuest? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying right now?
It's really trash. Sorry.
Oh!
Wow.
I don't know how to do.
That's it. That's good
That
enough.
counts?
Throw it on top.
Just
Throw it on
push.
top.
Yeah, there it is.
It's in.
That's okay.
False. That counts. That counts.
Oh,
Yeah.
behind the line.
Behind the line. Behind the line.
I'm a little
sorry,
scared.
I'm
I'm actually a
cheating.
little scared now.
Yeah, it's all right. They're pretty soft. All right, speed run it. You got 15. If you miss them all, you get to move on. He got it. He got it. Scion Speedway time.
Oh my god.
Alt.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
actually the boss.
He's actually sign alting better than
Yeah, I feel like we're all team Armeo right
me.
now.
He's actually sign alting better.
This is a comeback. Like, not
You're the best sign on in the team.
Oh, I messed that up though. Could have made that.
Fine, it's fine. Focus up.
Drift that.
Okay.
God.
Yeah, just right around.
Get in there, get in there, get in there.
Okay.
So it looks like the bed is actually my counter. I don't know.
A little bit.
Wait, you actually smurfed this?
Yeah, I actually played this pretty good.
Scion jungle.
Ooh, I like that. I like that little.
Wait, why can I spam?
All right, time. I have some bad news for you, John.
No,
The
please.
time is 4:17.
Oh!
I can't let my mom see this.
Thanks for coming. Revenge takes down Armeo.
It was
That'll
close.
do it from here.
Top gap.
Close.